The wind howls, a familiar, lonely song across the frozen expanse. Snow, heavy and relentless, blankets the world in a shroud of white. My bones ache with a cold that seeps deeper than any winter I have known. I am old now, a relic of a time long past. My fur, once a proud tapestry of gray and black, is now streaked with the silver of countless moons. Each breath is a plume of steam, a fleeting ghost in the biting air. I lie beneath the skeletal branches of an ancient pine, its needles dusted with frost, and I watch the sky turn a bruised, deep purple. The end is near. I feel it not with fear, but with a quiet acceptance. My journey is almost done. My mind, a river frozen at its surface, begins to thaw. Memories, like fish beneath the ice, stir and swim toward the light. I remember my first real hunt. I was barely more than a pup, all paws and nervous energy, my adolescent fur still soft and thin. The alpha, a giant of a wolf with eyes like chips of amber, led the charge. The scent of elk was thick in the air, a heady perfume of life and fear. We moved as one, a great torrent flowing through the forest. I remember the thrill, the pure, unadulterated instinct that took over. My legs pumped, my heart hammered against my ribs, not with fear, but with an exhilarating purpose. The alpha gave the signal, a subtle shift of his head, and the pack enveloped the beast. I was on the flank, my teeth finding their mark. The struggle was immense, a chaotic dance of muscle and desperation. When it was over, and we stood panting in the steam of our own breath and the elk's last warmth, the alpha looked at me. There was no praise, no grand gesture, just a nod, a silent acknowledgement. You are one of us. You are a hunter. In that moment, I understood what it meant to belong. The snow falls thicker now, blurring the edges of the world. My thoughts drift to her. Her name was Moonlight, for the way her pale fur seemed to glow under the full moon. Her scent was a mix of summer rain and pine needles. When she chose me, it was as if the sun had decided to shine only for me. I remember the den we dug, deep into the earth, a safe, warm haven against the world. And then, the pups, for tiny, blind bundles of life, squirming against her belly. Their yelps were the sweetest music. I remember watching them, a fierce, protective love swelling in my chest. So powerful, it was almost painful. I would lie at the den's entrance, a silent guardian, watching Moonlight nurture them, my heart full. I would bring them the choicest cuts of the hunt, nudging the meat toward her, watching her gentle strength as she tore it into pieces for our young. That was the richest time, a time of warmth and purpose and a future that stretched out like an endless summer meadow. But summer always ends. A sharp pain shoots through my hip, a phantom echo of an old wound. It pulls me into a darker memory. The scent wasn't of prey, but of rivals, strange wolves, trespassing on our lands. They were gone, desperate, and their eyes held the wild fire of hunger. Our alpha met theirs. A standoff of growls and bare teeth under a steel gray sky. Diplomacy failed. The world erupted into a storm of fur and fury. I fought beside my brother, Shadow. We were a whirlwind of coordinated rage, a two-headed beast defending our home. I remember the sickening crunch of bone, the hot splash of blood, a flash of movement, a desperate lunge from a young rival. I was too slow. Shadow threw himself in the way. I saw the life fade from his eyes, a twin reflection of my own. My roar of grief was lost in the cacophony of the battle. We drove them off, but the victory was ash in my mouth. We buried him under the roots of a great oak. The pack's howls were mournful dirge that echoed through the silent forest. That day, I learned that every piece of land, every meal, every breath is paid for in blood and loss. The pack was never the same. A shadow had fallen over us, one that never truly left. The seasons turned. The pups grew and left to find their own paths. Moonlight and I grew old together, our bond a quiet, steady warmth against the encroaching chill. Then came the sickness, a cruel, invisible hunter that stole her breath and her strength. I stayed by her side, licking her fur, bringing her water from the stream. But it was a battle I couldn't fight. One morning, I woke to find her still and cold. The moonlight she was named for finally gone from her eyes. My howl that night was not for the pack, or for the moon. It was a raw, ragged tear in the fabric of the night, a sound of absolute loneliness. After that, the pack felt like a gathering of ghosts. The new alpha was strong, but he was not my alpha. The new pups were not my pups. I was a memory walking among the living. And so, one day, I walked away, not out of anger, but out of a need for silence, a need to be alone with my ghosts. I have wandered for many seasons since then. I have seen mountains that scrape the sky and valleys that hold the morning mist like a secret. I have known hunger that gnaws at the gut and the simple satisfaction of a rabbit caught unawares. I have watched generations of deer and elk, the fawns growing bold, then old, then gone. I have become part of the landscape, another gray stone, another gnarled root. The world is fading to white. The trees across the valley are just faint smudges now. I can no longer feel my paws. The pain is gone, replaced by a deep, heavy peace. My life has been a long hunt, a chase across the years. I have known the strength of the pack, the warmth of love, the agony of loss, and the quiet dignity of solitude. I have played my part in the great, unwritten story of the wild. The snow is a soft blanket now, tucking me in. Far away, I think I hear a howl, a new generation, their song full of strength and hunger and life. The cycle continues. My breath is a small cloud now, getting smaller. The wind sings its lullaby, and I close my eyes. It is time to rest.